Okay, so you know how I'm always talking about cutting back on bottled water?
Yeah, you've mentioned it a few times.
Well, I've been on the hunt for a good countertop filtration system.
Makes sense.
And this Waterdrop A1 is kind of calling my name.
Interesting.
We've got this super detailed review here.
Okay.
And I thought maybe we could dive into it together
Sure.
and figure out, is it really as good as it sounds?
On game?
So, first impressions.
Yeah.
Sleek design.
Very
Okay.
sleek, very compact.
I mean, a bulky system would just totally take over my counter.
Really wants that.
But what I really like is that it's bottleless.
Oh, yeah. Big plus.
No more plastic waste.
Definitely good for the environment.
So how does this whole bottleless thing actually work?
Well, it connects directly to your water supply.
Okay.
And it uses this process called reverse osmosis.
Reverse osmosis.
You basically force the water through this super fine membrane.
Okay.
It traps all the impurities.
So it's like a super filter,
Pretty much, yeah.
and it gets rid of everything.
Almost everything the review says, it removes up to 99% of impurities.
Like what kind of stuff?
Heavy metals, chlorine, fluoride,
Wow.
all the things you don't want in your water.
Okay, so this is important, right?
Absolutely.
It's NSI 58 certified.
Which is huge.
Means it meets those super strict safety standards for water filtration.
You can trust that the water you're drinking is truly pure.
That's a good feeling, especially if you're a little iffy about your tap water.
Yeah, peace of mind is priceless.
But, okay, all this filtration, doesn't that use a ton of water?
That's actually where this system shines.
Really?
It has this crazy, impressive 2.1 pure-to-drain ratio.
2.1.
For every 2 glasses of purified water you get,
Okay.
only 1 glass goes down the drain.
That's amazing.
It's way better than a lot of those older systems.
Which were like water hogs.
Pretty much.
So this is good for the planet.
Yeah.
Good for my wallet.
Exactly. You're saving water. You're saving money.
Win-win.
Totally.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Oh, what's that?
Filters.
Right.
They need to be replaced.
Yeah, eventually.
And that can be a pain.
It can be.
What's the situation with this system?
The filters on this one are supposed to last a really long time.
Like, how long are we talking?
The main reverse osmosis membrane
Yeah.
can last up to 2 years.
Whoa, 2 years.
Under normal use, yeah.
That's incredible. I'm used to changing filters every other month.
Yeah, those pitcher filters.
Exactly.
They need to be swapped out way more often.
So with this Waterdrop thing, you're basically set for a couple of years.
Pretty much. And the system even tells you when it's time to change the filters.
How does it do that?
It has a built-in indicator light.
Oh, fancy.
It's super helpful.
The review also mentioned a touch-sensitive control panel.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Is it as high-tech as it sounds?
It's really intuitive.
Okay.
You just tap to choose your desired water temperature.
How many options are there?
6 different settings.
6.
From room temp all the way up to boiling.
Hot water on demand.
Exactly. That would be amazing.
Perfect for tea.
Or, instant coffee.
Or even cooking.
Right.
No more waiting for the kettle.
And I see it also has a child lock.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Safety first, especially with hot water involved.
Absolutely.
So it's convenient, it's safe.
And it looks pretty good, too.
It does have that sleek, modern vibe.
Yeah, it would definitely upgrade any kitchen.
Okay, so we've talked about design.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about filtration.
Yes.
But how does it actually perform?
That's the real test, right?
Does it live up to all the hype?
Well, according to the review, the answer is yes.
Really?
The reviewer was super impressed with the water quality.
Did they say anything about the taste?
They said it was noticeably better than their unfiltered tap water.
So fresh, clean-tasting water
Exactly.
without all the plastic waste.
And without any worries about weird stuff lurking in your tap water.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
It does sound pretty amazing. And remember that impressive 2.1 pure-to-drain ratio? That's not only good for the environment.
It's also good for your wallet.
It is. Less water wasted means lower water bills.
Precisely.
The review also mentioned that it's super quiet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is a big plus if you've got a busy household.
Or if you live in an apartment,
Right.
you don't want a noisy filter disrupting everything.
And get this.
What?
Even though it heats and cools water,
Uh-huh.
it's still really energy efficient.
Impressive.
So it's not going to spike your electricity bill.
That's a relief.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Me too.
But now for the big question.
Hit me.
Maintenance.
Okay.
Is it easy to keep this thing clean and running smoothly?
Apparently, so the review says it's very low maintenance.
Really?
Those long-lasting filters are a big help.
They really are.
Plus, it's designed for easy cleaning.
How so?
Detachable drip tray, smooth surfaces.
So no hard-to-reach nooks and crannies. Okay, so we've talked about design,
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about filtration, we've talked about performance and maintenance.
But now comes the real deal breaker for a lot of people.
The price tag.
Exactly.
It is a bit of an investment up front.
It is no doubt about it.
But you have to consider the long-term benefits.
Okay, I'm listening.
Think about it. You're not buying bottled water anymore.
That's true.
You're saving money on your water bill.
Right.
And most importantly, you're getting the purest, healthiest water possible.
So it's an investment in your health.
Exactly.
All right, let's do a quick recap of the pros and cons.
Have a shoot.
Pros. Stylish design. Powerful filtration.
Yes.
Multiple temperature settings.
It's like having a mini spa in your kitchen.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Easy to use.
Definitely.
Quiet operation.
Big plus.
And long-term cost savings.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Now for the cons.
Lay it on me.
The initial cost is definitely a hurdle for some people.
Yeah, it's not exactly budget friendly.
And since it doesn't have a big water tank,
Right.
you need a direct connection to your water supply.
That could be an issue for some setups. So there you have it. The good, the bad, and the filtered.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, but let's take a step back for a second.
Okay.
What does all this information actually mean?
Good question.
Is this Waterdrop A1 actually worth it?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Well, based on everything we've learned,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like a pretty solid system.
Okay.
It's well-designed, it's functional, it delivers on its promises.
That's good.
You get advanced filtration, hot and cold water on demand, and it's super user-friendly.
And it looks good.
It does have that going for it.
So yeah, the upfront cost might be a little scary.
It's not insignificant.
But if you're serious about clean, convenient water,
And you care about sustainability?
this could be a game changer.
I think so.
Okay, now here's a thought for you.
I'm all ears.
Imagine having perfectly temperatured filtered water
Okay, I'm imagining.
right there on your countertop.
Sounds pretty nice.
How would that change your daily routine?
That's a good question.
Would you drink more water? Would you be less tempted by sugary drinks?
Possibly.
How would it change your whole perception of drinking water?
That's something to think about.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, makes you realize how much we take water for granted.
Exactly. We'll be back in a jiffy to continue our deep dive into the Waterdrop A1.
All right, so we're back.
Back again with the Waterdrop A1.
This thing's pretty cool.
It is. I'm actually getting kind of excited about it.
I can tell.
But let's zoom out for a sec.
Okay,
Big picture time.
I like it.
How does a system like this fit into, the whole water consumption landscape?
It's interesting, right?
Oh,
Like, we're all becoming more aware of the bottled water problem.
the environmental impact?
And people are looking for alternatives.
They are.
And that's where these countertop filtration systems come in.
They're like the heroes of hydration.
Kinda. Yeah,
You get clean filtered water,
right at home.
no more plastic bottles,
No more lugging those heavy cases from the store.
and no more feeling guilty about all that waste.
It's a win all around.
Speaking of winning,
Yeah.
how does the cost of this thing compare to buying bottled water?
You're thinking long term.
Yeah, like in the grand scheme of things.
It's definitely worth doing the math.
Because bottled water adds up.
Oh, definitely does.
Well-
Especially if you're buying those little individual bottles.
I used to be a bottled water junkie.
I feel ya.
It was bad for my wallet and bad for the planet.
But a system like this,
Yeah.
it pays for itself over time.
And you're saving the planet.
Bonus points for sustainability.
Okay, so we talked about the 2.1 pure-to-drain ratio.
That's a big deal.
It is. I mean, think about all the water that old systems wasted.
It's crazy, right?
It is, and it's so unnecessary.
The Waterdrop A1 is way more efficient
Which means less water down the drain.
and more money in your pocket.
I like the sound of that.
Everyone does.
Okay, so one thing that really struck me in the review,
What was that?
the whole filtration system.
Yes.
They really emphasize how much it removes.
Up to 99% of impurities.
That's reassuring, especially if you're like me and you kind of worry about your tap water.
Yeah, tap water can be a bit of a mystery.
It is. You never really know what's lurking in there.
That's true, and it's not just about things like chlorine.
Right, there's all sorts of stuff.
The review mentioned fluoride.
Yeah, I know there's a whole debate about fluoride,
We won't get into that here.
but it's good to be aware of what's in your water.
And to have options.
Exactly.
That's what this system gives you.
Control over your water.
You decide what you want to filter out.
So it's not just about convenience.
It's about empowerment.
I like that.
It's about taking charge of your health.
You know, a lot of people think bottled water is the answer.
They do.
But the review brought up some interesting points about bottled water.
Oh, yeah, like what?
The downside.
Let's hear it.
Okay, first of all, The environmental impact.
The plastic waste.
It's a huge problem.
We're drowning in plastic bottles.
And then there's the cost.
Bottled water can get expensive.
It really can.
And then there's the question of quality.
Right. Like, is bottled water actually that much better?
That's a good question.
Sometimes it's just glorified tap water.
That's been repackaged and marked up.
And you're stuck with all those bottles.
It's not a sustainable solution.
It's really not.
And that's where a system like the Waterdrop A1 comes in.
Tell me more.
It's like the sustainable answer to bottled water.
You get the convenience.
Without the waste.
And with better filtration.
It's a win-win-win.
It really does seem like the best of both worlds.
I think so.
You know, as we've been talking about this,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about how a system like this could change our view of water.
How so?
Like right now, most of us just take water for granted.
It's just there.
We turn on the tap, we drink it, we don't think twice about it.
We do tend to take it for granted.
But what if having a system like this
With all the bells and whistles.
made us appreciate water more?
I see what you're saying.
Like what if it made water feel special again?
Like a luxury, instead of just a basic necessity.
And that could have a ripple effect.
How so?
We might start drinking more water.
We might be more mindful of how much we use.
We might even be more grateful for this precious resource.
I like that idea.
It's about shifting our perspective
From taking water for granted.
to seeing it as something to be cherished.
That's a powerful shift.
It is.
And it all starts with something as simple as a water filter.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool when you think about it.
It is. Okay, so I have one more question.
Shoot.
Energy consumption.
Ah, yes, that's an important consideration.
This thing heats and cools water.
It does.
So how much electricity does it actually use?
That's a good question, and the review addressed that.
Oh, good.
They said it's actually very energy efficient.
Really?
Yeah, it uses advanced insulation and all these energy-saving technologies.
So it's not going to guzzle electricity.
Nope. It's designed to be as eco-friendly as possible.
That makes me happy.
I figured it would.
I love gadgets and gizmos,
As do I.
but I also care about the planet.
We all should.
So it sounds like this Waterdrop A1 is a winner.
It does tick a lot of boxes.
It does. I'm impressed.
Me too.
Okay, so I think we've covered a lot here.
We've gone deep.
Should we move on to our final thoughts?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're back.
Back for round 3.
Our final thoughts on the Waterdrop A1.
This has been quite the deep dive.
It has. We've covered a lot.
We really have, from the nitty-gritty details to the big picture stuff.
And I think it's safe to say this is more than just a water filter.
It's a lifestyle choice
It's a statement
about prioritizing your health
about caring for the environment.
and about making life easier.
It's definitely not for everyone.
Right, it's for a certain type of person.
Someone who's really serious about water.
Someone who wants the best of the best
Someone who's willing to invest.
in their well-being.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
what's your final takeaway?
What do I want people to remember about this system?
Exactly.
I think it's this. The Waterdrop A1 represents a shift
A shift.
in how we think about water.
Okay, I like that.
It's moving away from those wasteful plastic bottles
Yes.
and toward a more sustainable approach to hydration
It's about taking control,
of your water source.
knowing exactly what you're drinking.
I'm making sure it's the purest, healthiest water possible.
But you know what else I've been thinking about?
What's that?
This whole idea of water as something sacred.
Sacred.
Yeah, like throughout history,
Mm.
water has been seen as this source of life.
The essence of purity.
It connects us all.
It's essential for our survival.
And I think this Waterdrop A1 kind of taps into that.
How so?
It brings a sense of ritual to drinking water.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Like, it's not just about quenching your thirst.
It's about savoring the experience,
It's appreciating the water.
recognizing its importance.
So as you're thinking about whether this system is right for you,
Yeah.
think about that deeper connection with water.
How would it change your relationship with this essential element?
Would it make you more mindful?
More grateful.
It's worth considering.
It really is.
Well, folks, that's our deep dive into the Waterdrop A1.
I hope you found it informative,
I know I did.
and I hope it inspired you to think differently about water.
Because knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And the more we know about our choices,
The better decisions we can make,
for our health, for our planet.
and for our future.
So until next time, stay curious.
And keep exploring.